Welcome back to the channel, guys, where I'm in the process of rebuilding this crash damaged Fiesta ST that I picked up at auction. Now, in the previous videos, we've stripped the front end, managed to replace a lot of the broken parts, just waiting on a front bumper and bonnet. So if you've missed those videos, go check them out. Now, some of the eagle-eyed viewers might notice that we've also got a brand new windscreen put in, because that was cracked from the airbags. But today's the job that I was looking forward to the least. We have to strip out the whole dashboard and replace all the airbags. So let's get to it. Wish me luck. Now, I've never taken out a dashboard before, but I figured a good step one would be to remove the seats just to give me a bit more room to work with. Okay, that gives us a lot more room. Ah, you haven't found 5p. See, we're already making money on this. So the seats were quite easy to remove, just needed to unbolt the 4 Torx bolts and then disconnect the electrical connector under the seat, and I could pull it out. I'm in the back seats now. It's really roomy. There's surprisingly a lot of leg room here. Look at that. Just traveling in luxury. Who needs a front passenger seat? Next step is to just carry on with this dashboard. Also in the rear, well, you can see clearly this front seat belt is completely locked out, and so is this one here. That's not moving, so those need replacing too. We need to take off some trim to access it behind here. But I think I'm just going to focus on the dashboard for now. So let's keep going. There we go. Airbags out. That was not a headache at all. When I finally managed to get the steering wheel airbag out, there was a big bolt holding the steering wheel in, which I just removed. Give it a good yank and it comes off. And just unbolting the couple of screws holding the plastic trim pieces on the top and the bottom of the steering column. Now, over the years, I've binge watched tons of car videos, and when people have removed dashboards and steering wheels, I've noticed that they put some tape on what I think is the clock spring. Not really sure what it does, but I figured I'd do the same. Then I just work through different parts of the dashboard, just whatever I can access, just removing the glove box, the instrument cluster, and then working my way towards the center console. Now that I managed to take off the top trim, it really reveals a lot of bolts. So you got some Torx bolts there, and a bit further along. So that means I'll be able to take out the infotainment system, the infotainment screen, the radio, all of this trim down here as well. That should be a lot easier to come out now. So I always think it's fascinating about how people keep their cars, because you can tell a lot about people. So I've stripped this down quite a fair amount, and I found some interesting things. I don't know what those are. They look like really old gummy bears. Good Lord. Ew. Anyway. Okay. This is the airbag ECU module. So that needs replacing to get rid of the crash data. So I think while I'm here, I'm just going to take that out and then put the new one in. That doesn't have that crash data. And the saga continues step by step. Let's keep going. This is frustrating. But I know it's going to be all worth it in the end. So let's keep going. I got stuck at this point, figuring out how to remove the radio, but I found it just needs a little bit of brute force and pulls right out. Behind the radio I could see a lot of the wiring harness, so I unclipped all the connectors and then I managed to get the dashboard out. Okay, I think we're finally all disconnected. I am so ready for this thing to come out. But once it does, it's now dawning on me that I have to put it all back together. I think that's going to be even harder. It was definitely quite awkward trying to maneuver this dashboard out just by myself, but with perseverance I finally managed to get it. I've managed to remove the old dashboard. I'm just going to strip that off because there's a few parts we need on there. And this is the new dashboard. So on here I'm just going to give this a quick wipe down and then transfer over, a few little bits like the push button start. There's a bit of tubing at the back, any clips, anything like that. We're back, guys. It's another day and it has been a challenge to get to this point, but I've managed to put the dashboard in situ, so it's in place. I just need to bolt all the little bolts back in, all the clips, try and remember where everything goes. It's been a real hurdle, but we persevered and we got here. Let me show you what I'm at. So the dash is back in place. I've managed to use some strings just to run all the cables through all the different places, so I think that's been very helpful. For next time, I'll definitely be doing that. So now I just need to put everything back into place, and there we go. It is in. Oh, this has been a tedious process, but I am so glad that we managed to get this dashboard in. The passenger side airbag that was being replaced, steering wheel airbag, stripped everything down. Oh, honestly, this was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought it should be fairly simple, a couple of clips, it shouldn't be too bad, take it out, put it back in. But honestly, this has taken me pretty much a whole week to do, and I still work full time as well, so this was quite hard. But I'm really glad that I managed to do it. I always like to challenge myself, and I think this was a pretty big challenge, but I'm really pleased at how we got. So, a couple of things left to do for this car to get it back onto the road. It's Saturday now, so this video, when you guys see it, will be Monday. And it's actually booked in for its MOT that coming Friday. So I've got less than 1 week to get this car into roadworthy state. So I think for today, what's left to do, because I really want to get this, I want to plug the car in and make sure that everything is working the way that it should, because it's still quite fresh in my mind as to what I've done. But I still need to replace the seat belts, so I'm just going to strip out the seat belts, the front seat belts, get those replaced, and then put the seats back in, plug up the battery, hopefully it's not gone flat, fire up the car, and fingers crossed, hopefully there isn't any warning lights. There might still be an airbag light that comes on, and I have changed the airbag ECU, but even if there is still an airbag light, it might be because the ECU has to be coded to the car. I have a diagnostic tool. I'm going to see if I can clear the code, if there is any codes. But if not, then I might have to get someone to come around and clear that for me, because there's no way it's going to pass MOT with an airbag light. Okay, come on, let's keep going. Taking the seat belts out was fairly straightforward, but it was quite awkward because I didn't want to remove the whole rear trim, because that essentially goes all the way back into the boot. So I just pried it apart just to give myself enough space to get my hands in and unscrew all the bolts. Then it was an easy swap out for the new ones. Okay, so we're back. It's another day. Now I've connected the battery. Now is the moment of truth. I need to turn the car on and see if there's any warning lights, specifically the airbag light. I'm going to test all the controls just to make sure I haven't forgotten to plug something. I'm a bit nervous. I definitely don't want the airbags to explode, so I'm going to lean back in the chair as much as possible. And yeah, we'll give this a go. Let's see what happens. Let's cue the dramatic music. Okay. And, oh, it's come back. It went off for a second. It's come back now. I'm gonna plug in my diagnostic tool and see if I can clear the codes. See how many fault codes come up. Oh, restraint control module. Okay, that might be where the airbag light is there. Okay, you got a lot of faults. Powertrain, ABS. Right, let's just quick erase. Just gonna turn the car on again. Actually, let's cycle it off. Let's give it a go again and see what happens. Oh, battery might be running a bit dry. Okay, let me just put a jump pack on it and see if that'll help. So that hasn't worked. So the crash data is still recorded there. I tried clearing it with the diagnostic tool, but it's just come right back. As soon as I turned the car on, it had gone away for a second, but it came right back, probably within about 2 or 3 seconds. So I'm gonna Forcecom OBD reader is meant to be arriving today. Hopefully they'll be able to do the trick, because it needs to be cleared before Friday, before the MOT. Otherwise, the dash is all in. Everything seems to be working fine, so really pleased about that. But we need to get this airbag light sorted. So I think that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, because there's still so much more to do with this car. But that's it for now. Chewy out.